Tommy, you won on Romantic Bonanza last time out. Had the blinkers on for the first time. Did they fire him up a bit in the run?
Yeah, they did. He's a funny sort of a horse. He doesn't really give you much of a feel in his track work, and he put in sort of one good bit of work leading into that run. And I said to Denny, he's going really well, and Denny said he doesn't look like he's going well because he's very laid back in his work. So them blinkers really switched him on, and he's only a young horse. He's very new, very green, but I think the 1200 suited him as well, and he's had that bit of time in between runs, which I think is going to help him as well leading into Sunday.
Since that run, as you mentioned, he's had a bit of time. You've rode him at the trials. Has he improved since then?
Yeah, he's just doing a few little things right now, that he was doing wrong before. So he's maturing a little bit each time, and I think that run's really brought him on, and he's definitely going to be very competitive, especially from a good barrier again on the weekend. But I think it's a lot tougher task than he was up against last start.
You didn't ride on Wednesday night due to a back issue. How is he back?
Yeah, it's feeling a lot better. I've had a bit of physio. I've had two bits of physio. I'll have another one today after the trials, and we should be right to go.
Well, Zach, they don't win much easier than Glorious Forever did last time.
Yeah, it was a nice effort. He put the writing on the wall at his previous start, and he was able to back it up.
Does the step up to 2,000 metres, that extra couple of 100 metres, does that hold any concerns whatsoever for you?
They're different types of races, the 1800s to the 2000s. Obviously, there's a bit more pressure going into the first corner, but he's drawn a nice gate, and he should be able to get forward again. I'll just get him in his rhythm and see how he goes. But he felt last time like he wasn't getting tied towards the line anyway.
He's the full brother to Time Warp, a horse you obviously know very well. Can you draw any similarities between the two?
Obviously, their racing styles are very similar. They're both on-pace runners, but Time Warp, funny enough, doesn't have the best action in the world. He sort of doesn't move that fluently, whereas this fella seems to move a lot better. He's a lot nicer to ride, so hopefully that means he's going to be a nicer horse.
Super Chic and Rocketeer, a couple of other horses in the race you've ridden recently. How do you compare him to them?
Yeah, well, Rocketeer's probably been going a bit disappointing this season. He hasn't really been hitting the line that well. Super Chic's been in great form at Happy Valley. He's got a good turn of foot, and since they've reversed the tactics on him, it's brought about some better results. But the horse I'm on probably feels like he's going better than those two at the moment.
On Sunday, Tommy, you'll wear some fairly famous silks, the Pakistan Star silks, but this time on Pakistan Friend, you've had a bit to do with him at the trials. What can you tell us?
Yeah, he's a little bit backward. He doesn't really know what the game's all about yet. I think you'll see in all of his trials he's got a very funny head carriage, and he doesn't really like the kickback, so every time he gets a bit of kickback he throws his head up in the air. So look, I'm not sure how that's going to suit him on the weekend. Obviously the first start over 1400 will probably suit him well. He hasn't got a heap of gate speed, but I'd probably like to ride him a bit closer to the speed if we can. But the part I like about him is once you get him out of that kickback and let him run home, he shows a really good turn of foot and moves through his gears quite nicely. So he definitely won't disappoint us on the weekend, but he's got a bright future, but I don't know if he'll come this time around.
He gave me the feel of an okay horse. He feels like he's come in on a pretty competitive mark for where he's at, and he's going to have to beat his best to get the job done at the moment, because he's still on the weak side a little bit, and he can strengthen up and improve as time goes on. But like a lot of Frankie's horses, they tend to improve from their first start to their next start, and he was another example of that. And I thought his run last time was probably a little bit disappointing, so he needs to pull his socks up a bit.
3 meetings to go. You're in front by 3 wins in the Premiership over Joe. What's your take on the situation at the moment?
Yeah, well, there's still a long way to go, and I think this weekend, like every meeting recently, is going to be important, and hopefully I can just keep riding winners here and there.
Are you confident with your book of rides?
They're okay. It's at the time of year where there's not much depth to the fields. Joe's been getting much stronger rides than I have recently, so it's been making it a little bit hard to stay where I am, but I'd prefer to be in front than behind for sure.
Caspar, we haven't seen BOMBAY BLITZ at the race for 6 months. Why is that?
He's had a quarter crack and took a long time for it to grow out. So obviously he's good now, and it's unfortunate. I wish we'd had a bit more time with him, but he's had a decent enough preparation leading into this.
2 trials leading in. What have you made of those?
Yeah, the trials were just okay. You know, there's nothing impressive there, but I think it's more fitness factor. I think the second trials just stripped him a lot fitter, and you know he's ready to go to the races now. He's not 100%, but he's fit enough there to run a big race.
Would you go in then on Sunday with this run and try to keep him in work for an early season race for next season then?
Absolutely, that would be the plan. You know, he's certainly a horse sitting on a rating of 80, which I'm confident he's going to get into triple figures next season if we can just, you know, keep the problems away.
When you look at his form, I mean, 3rd behind Pinghai Star, that's all turned out pretty well since then.
Yeah, it was a good form race. There's a couple of good horses in there. You know, Frankie's horse as well, the other Frankel horse, which did really well this season. So, yeah, it's a good, strong race. I think he's a horse with a future. And like I said before, if we can just keep him sound, we'll have a lot of fun with him.
Just looking back at earlier on in the week, well done with the win with Limitless.
Yeah, thank you. Another frustrating horse, but it's just nice to get that result, and hopefully he'll take a chill pill coming into the new season. And if he does that, you know, he's shown that he's got an engine there, and hopefully we can snag a couple of them next season.